Konnichiwa. Woo! I made it. I decided I've always wanted to travel to Japan because it just looked like a beautiful country full of history and beauty and tradition. And the fact that Reiki, traditional Reiki, Usui, Raiho Reiki, originated here in Japan. And being a Reiki master teacher, I was very much drawn to that. Um, yeah, so and not just that, the cherry blossoms, um, the geishas. I mean, if you ever watched any the samurais, right? It was just, I guess, in a way, a lot of folklore, fairy tales, but there's also a dark history to Japan as well, an undertone. I believe that in any country, so even in Canada. But it's just very interesting. So, the time difference is 14 hours, Mountain Standard Time. And, well, jet lag is real when you're talking about these time zones. I want to give a shout out to WestJet. It was a direct flight to Narita, which is just outside of Tokyo. When they say just outside, they mean like an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending if you're on a train. And the trains, oh my goodness. I am so glad I watched so many vloggers talking about the train system, how to navigate the train system. Now, when I went to the UK, I thought, wow, that they have so many trains. This is confusing. But, the amount of people here way surpasses the trains. If I can impart anything, they told me to follow the colors. So if it's a blue line, follow the blue line. Don't worry about the rest of the stuff. Google Maps has been excellent with this as well. And I did not realize it was the emperor's birthday this week, so it is extra busy. Now, Japanese are known for working hard and playing hard. So they're off this week, and let me tell you, they're playing hard. I've seen a lot of people. I mean, if you can get alcohol out of a vending machine, guess what happens? Anyways, so yeah, I bypassed Tokyo, completely bypassed Tokyo. I had no interest in any of the tourist traps. That's just not who I am. I'm all about slow travel. I'm about intentional travel. I'm about mystic travel. So really, it's that for me, that's important. So I don't know about you guys. Do you like? They call it slow travel, um, and I'm seeing it more and more where you're spending not 3 days in a country. You're spending like a couple weeks or a couple months, depending on if you can get visa. Now, immigration going. It was a big lineup and they're implementing a new system. So, but other than that, it was easy breezy. So, but I'm going to show you outside. Hopefully, you can see it. The room is very small, by the way. I mean, that's the Japanese for you. So, this is Mount Fuji. You cannot see it today because it's cloudy. Saw it yesterday. So this is my view outside of my room. It is a beautiful area. Look at the trees, look at the landscape. Now this may be a big city, and I'd say this in any city in Japan is they keep the trees, they keep the greenery, beautiful flowers, very much landscaped, very meticulous, no trash, no litter, which I really love. Very clean. You're on the trains too, nobody's talking because it's called respect, which I appreciate because in Canada, people are yelling and screaming and having conversations and on their phone and walking around with speaker like, I want to hear that. No, I don't. So I think we have some things to learn from Japan. I have no sense in my wallet to travel. Yeah, I get that. I do. My journey started in 2021. I sold everything and decided to let go of everything and surrender and travel. And if you want to learn how to be a digital nomad, if that's your thing, or how to side hustle, how to make income while you're traveling, it is very possible. I've been doing it for almost 5 years. So, um, yeah, if you want more tips, more videos on that, let me know. Oh, it's not a dress, Pradeep. It's a shirt, but thank you anyways. And that's another thing in Japan is dressing respectfully, not showing your shoulders, not wearing, like short dresses, skirts, being half naked. They're very body conscious, I guess would be the word, and respectful. And I appreciate that too, because you know what they say, less is more, right? Meaning, leave it to the imagination. You don't have to expose and show everything. So some things are best kept that way. Because in North America, I mean, if you're showing, TNA, well then, hey, you're now an Instagram or TikTok star, which, you know what, is so wrong. So wrong. So ass backwards. You don't have to show off your body to get attention. Anyways, another thing here in Japan is, well, the TV shows are crazy. You're either watching people eat or they're watching cats with a cat camera wander around and guessing where they're going to go. And it's very com like comic book in a way. And I mean, that's the style. I get it. But they love to talk about Donald Trump. Mm. They're very focused on him. Every time I turn the TV on, they're doing a poll about Trump. Unfortunately, I don't speak fluent Japanese, so I don't know exactly what they're saying, but they're talking about the tariffs. And it looks like Japan is really going to strong arm back, meaning like every other country that is facing this, they're going to make everything in their country instead of relying on other countries. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing because we are being shown that unfortunately United States has been strong arming and bullying other countries for a very, 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 very long time. So I was actually on a plane with an older lady. She's from Canada, and her shirt said, Canada is not for sale. I'm just like, okay, this is great. Anyways, and it looks like, yes, I have a lot of Indian followers. Thank you very much. And supporters. So if you would like more of this kind of content about slow travel, how to become a digital nomad, how to ditch your nine to grind job, your toxic workplace, your toxic relationships, anything that is toxic, and start living from an intentional place and space and really tune into your soul, because that's what this community is about. It's called the Soul Healers Community for a reason. Because I was on the corporate treadmill. I was in corporate burnout. I was addicted to alcohol, cigarettes, you name it. Until I had my dark night of the soul in 2017, which I talk about a lot. I've written a book about it called Intuition Saved My Life. I created an oracle deck. I do summits. I have a podcast. I have a ton of free resources, but also on the channel, I have a paid community, which has exclusive content. So if you'd like something like that, go check it out. I just dropped a guided meet your spirit guides meditation because I was doing a mediumship party and I had a lady ask, well, how do I know who my guides are? And I said, they're always around. It's just a matter of tuning in, dropping your ego, and letting just whatever comes in for you and start dreaming it, writing it into existence. And once you make that connection, it's forever. And there are always outside forces, the universe, God, source, whatever you want to call it, angels, guides, loved ones, ancestors, that are supporting us and guiding us to our highest potential. And really, love is the only language. Love is the only language. It's universal. It clears everything. It heals everything. That's really why we're here. So, yeah, thanks to Donald Trump, everything over here in the United States messed up. Everything is expensive. Yeah. Um, the unholy trinity is politics, science, and religion. And we're seeing this. The insanity of everything that's happening around us right now is because the patriarchal, societal stuff doesn't work anymore. And it is breaking down. That's what we're seeing right now. You may seem like everything is unfair. How do we get out of this? But that's the ego. The ego wants to keep us safe and stuck and comfortable. And there is no growth without trials and tribulations and a little bit of pain, because the pain has purpose. At least in my life, it did. It was showing me things that I didn't want to look at. It was showing me things that I didn't want to deal with. It was showing me things where I put my head in the sand and maybe it would go away. But it actually, it comes back in full force, because the universe is trying to get our attention. So we're seeing that, like I said before, how countries have been bullies, how countries have kept us under their thumb, under control, keep us in line, keep us in a dream state, but not a good dream, a nightmare. So once you connect back to yourself, to source, to who you truly are, you'll realize all of that stuff is noise and everything is infinite. And maybe for some of you, this is too woo, but I say don't poo poo the woo woo, because the woo is who we are. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. All right. So if you're catching this later, drop your questions below. I'd be happy to answer them. If you have any questions about developing your intuition, connecting to your soul purpose, wanting to do slow travel, turtle travel, I believe they call it, just turtling, turtles, it's slow and steady wins the race. I'll tell you what, when I rush to make decisions or do anything, unless it's an emergency, I have to go redo it because I was not at a place of grounded, rooted intention and leading with my heart, not here. Yes, the mind and critical thinking is important. However, it needs to be balanced. We can't all be in the left side or the right side. It has to be, the Buddha stuff, right? All right. Well, I'm sending you guys so much love wherever you are in the world. Mwah. I will be in Japan for a little bit longer, and then maybe you can comment below and let me know where you think I might be next, because I'm continuing to travel and will be for the next couple months. And maybe let me know where your bucket list travel is. I would love to know that too. Take care.